Hello! This is the one episode rule. I'm Magpie. Yeah, that's who I am.
Hell yeah.
Yet another strong opening from our glorious Baron.
Just really knocking it out of the park immediately.
Yep.
I guess I'll introduce myself. I'm Blackle. I just came back from Pittsburgh from this weekend, which I did the thing that I talked about last weekend. And it was fun.
And
I won a prize.
woo!
Good
Congrats,
job.
Blackle.
I wrote a little piece of art using code live in 25 minutes in front of a crowd of 50 people, and the people loved me, or
You
at
look
least
like
were
Pac-Man.
ambivalent.
It was really cool.
I created a Pac-Man that prevented the crowd from killing me.
Yeah, that's exactly what happened, and I got $100 American,
Whoa.
which paid for which covered the extremely expensive taxi I took by mistake.
Oh no!
Oh shit.
Yeah, $100 American is like $5 in Canadian, right?
Yeah, about. No, wait, that doesn't make
No,
sense.
it goes the
You
other
would think,
way. It's like
$5,000.
$500
Yeah.
Canadian.
No, to be real, it's
not that
actually like
much.
130 Canadian.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
I was doing sort of a joke.
No, but the joke didn't make
for a
sense.
comedy
I had to
podcast.
destroy you.
What do you?
was-
Okay.
The joke was
You said-
backwards.
Yeah,
There
you
was
said
a-
$100 American is $5 Canadian, which would imply that $500 Canadian is $1,000 American.
Anyway, moving
That's
on.
not. No, that's not. Okay, whatever.
I have some
Hi.
anime news. Oh yeah.
Really? The rest
No.
of us get to introduce
We gotta-
ourselves?
No, just one this time.
Oh my god!
Okay.
No, let Joey tell me about
Blackles.
yourself.
Let me speak.
Joey, let Joey speak.
Hi, I'm Joey, and I am a Taco Bell cryptid.
Okay.
A Taco Bell cryptid?
All right.
Okay, here's the
You're
story.
sort of a
Here's the story.
chalupa cabra.
No.
Shut up. That's dumb.
Thank you, everybody. I'll be
Shut up.
here all night.
The audience is gonna kill you now.
The audience
So-
storms the stage and tears me apart and makes me into a chalupa.
So as I die from that, I went to Taco Bell earlier, and the lady who took my order, like, normally they ask you for your name. She didn't ask me for my name. And when I, like, got my order and I was leaving, she was like, "Goodbye, Joey." And I was like, wait, what?
No.
I've seen this lady at Taco
Oh,
Bell, like,
shit.
once, like, a month and a half ago, and I was like, how? Anyhow,
Black
Taco
Mirror.
Bell, your service is great, and I love you.
Yours
Sponsor
is
me,
so
thank
bad.
you.
Wow.
That's my story.
Joey.
Come on.
You gotta check your clothing for a tracking beacon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's more scarier than the Mandela effect.
Maybe
Reach
she
up- reach
listens
up
to
and
our
touch-
podcast.
Reach up and touch
That's
your
it.
ear. Did they tag you while you were in there?
Do you have a little taco tag on you?
Yeah. Perhaps.
Emma, introduce yourself.
Hi, I'm Emma. Yeah, I don't have a bit. I'm sorry. I mean, I just got off work and I'm very tired and it's very hot in my house and that's my bit. That's my intro
She's
fact.
All out of bits. We're all out of
I'm all
bits.
out of bits. I ran out of.
Bits.
We'd like used up the last of our jokes in the apartment last night, and I'm still waiting on my paycheck, so I can't pick up any more.
I see.
All right.
Yeah.
Anyway,
I've got one bit though.
I tire of this joke.
All right,
To the
give me a
news.
break. It's the last joke that I had.
To the news. The news that I have, I picked up 3 articles, read half of 2 of them, and went, these are unsuitable. So this is the remaining news. Is that 2 new episodes of Thus Spoke Rohan Kashibi are going to be out pretty soon. They were previewed on the JoJo's Bizarre Adventure website.
Wow.
And that's cool. I still haven't watched like the first 2. I should probably do
I
that.
didn't know that there were a first two, to be honest.
Yeah, they've been making those. It's just a side series based on Rohan being like
Yeah.
weird
For,
jackass,
Weird.
and there's ghosts.
For the for those of us who enjoy watching anime that make us happy, could you explain who that guy is?
Rohan Kashibe is the quasi-villainous manga author stand user from Part 4. Widely believed to
that's
be
a JoJo's
self-
reference for all of you out there. It's
He is
JoJo's.
he's widely believed to be an author stand-in, even though the author says he isn't an author stand-in.
He's a
Wow.
bastard. We love him.
There was that time he licked a spider. That was pretty weird.
Hmm He can just peel your face open like a book, write stuff in there, and it's fact.
Just close it. Rohan, let's be real. Rohan might be my favorite character just because he's just such an off prick.
He's
Wow.
so great. He's good.
Like, there are multiple
Shocking.
different plot points in Part 4 that revolve around the fact that Rohan is a prick.
Yeah.
Like, anytime he has a problem and he goes to tell the rest of the group, they're just like, we don't believe you because you're a dick.
Nope.
Damn.
Yeah,
And he just ends
it's
up
good.
solving it on his own.
It's good. It's good. It's good.
Well,
There was that whole
Sorry, Rohan.
episode. There was that whole episode devoted to Josuke trying to cheat at dice.
And then his
steal
house
all of
got
Rohan.
set on fire at the end.
Yeah,
I
and then his
think.
house got set on fire at the end. It's a weird show.
I just don't know. I just don't know, folks.
We need to
I'm just
catch
waiting
up.
until I can participate in this conversation again.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm lost
I mean,
Yeah.
you
as
can
well.
join us while we catch
Just
Emma
watch
up on
some
JoJo's.
I don't want to watch JoJo.
Why?
Doesn't catch me.
What do you
Yeah,
mean?
It
it's
doesn't
understandable.
pull me in.
Have you seen any of it?
Yes.
Okay.
All right, here we go.
Well, what part did you see, by the way?
The first episode.
Okay, the first episode
Yeah,
sucks.
you watched
Anyway.
Fire and Blood.
Yeah.
However,
Yeah.
listen,
We'll talk about this
I
later.
live by the one episode rule. I live by the one episode rule. I'm the only
Okay,
real
but-
one on this fucking podcast, okay? So back off.
Holy
She's
shit.
got us there. It is
Oh.
called. It is the one episode rule
This
podcast.
is why I won't
It is
watch
the.
this. This is why I won't watch Gundam. I watched the one episode and never again.
Yeah, but the one episode thing applies to anime, and I'm not sure JoJo's is an anime.
Is
And the one
Gundam an
episode
Anyway,
also
moving on.
doesn't. Yeah, I think we should just go beyond this. Like,
Okay.
do we
Plus
have any more
Ultra.
anime news?
No more real anime news. I have a little piece of like personal news, but it's barely relevant.
I want to
I
hear
just-
it.
I just wanted to mention that I recently purchased the Hideo Kojima game Death Stranding, and I feel like I'm starting to understand the story. So my mind may be fundamentally altered, and I might not be listening to this
God.
podcast anymore.
You experienced
We're
an
losing him.
anomalous piece of media,
He's going.
which is warping
he's
your
going.
mind.
My
There he
synapses have been
goes.
rearranged.
There he
Yes.
goes. There he goes.
The hand of God went in there and jumbled it all up like a dish of spaghetti.
And I suppose we could talk about Sonic if you talk about it. Like Sonic's an anime, right?
Sonic is an
Sonic's an
anime.
anime.
Sonic.
Or at least
Sonic
there was a
X was an
Sonic
anime.
anime. Oh my god, there was.
Was there
Yes,
an
it
anime?
was, it was called Sonic X, and it
Huh.
was
Does that count?
something. What?
Something.
Who cares?
I feel like there was-
Sonic X was totally an anime. It was-
Wasn't there like a
aired in
Sonic
Japan.
anime series that like was responsible for giving like a bunch of people fetishes?
I
Any
mean,
That's
Sonic
the story
show
I
ever.
heard.
any single piece of Sonic media provides
Yep.
plenty of fetishes to the world. So
Y'all
Sonic,
talk about Sonic. I'm gonna track down what you're talking about.
Sonic
anyway,
itself
um,
is inherently a fetish. Like,
Okay.
hello.
that's
You
my
guys-
hot take.
That's yeah, I agree. Knuckles and it's just so. Anyway, so do you guys know Sonic X though, right? The
No,
anime
I've never
Sonic.
seen that.
What
I
is
know
it's
what
the
you're
it's the
talking about.
thank you, Joey. It's the show that Gotta Go Fast came from.
I don't really know what Sonic is anyway.
it was
so-
originally coined in the intro for Sonic X. It was an isekai about
Was it
Sonic
really?
getting. Yes, it was literally about
Oh,
Sonic and all of his friends and his one enemy getting launched into a parallel universe by Chaos Control, into like America, I think.
Oh, Baba
But he
voice,
lives with-
Chaos Control.
And then he like lives with a boy named Chris, and like that's the plot of Sonic X. It's an isekai about Sonic.
I think I'm
Okay.
trying. I think I was trying to track down. I was trying to track down us.
I have
Sally
something
Acorn.
incredibly important to say actually about Sonic before we move on.
Okay.
You just finished saying that Sonic X is an isekai.
Yes.
Did you see the new Sonic Hedgehog movie trailer?
Yes, it looks much better.
It implies that the new Sonic movie is also an isekai.
Yes, it is also an isekai.
I'm going to fuck.
Sonic. Sonic is a.
My brain is going to
alien.
detonate right now.
Here's anime Sally Acorn for those of you who are degenerates.
I see that face in a lot of my furry friends' persona, so I think I know the knowledge from diffusion. I've been exposed. Anyway, before we started this podcast, I mentioned how I think that the Sonic the Hedgehog movie is actually a psyop to make us watch the Sonic the Hedgehog movie, because they created a bunch of press with the terrifying Sonic, and then they made a new one which is just passable as okay. So everyone is like, well, now I gotta see it. It looks way better. So it's like one of those like temper your expectations type of deals. And I think I'm proud of them for it, to be honest. Like, good move.
Wow.
I'm here to say that I think that the original Sonic the Hedgehog film design is the kind of awful that can only be made purely on accident. It is only the kind of really just genuinely terrible character design that can only come from just, months and months of corporate meddling and just totally tone deaf character design.
Which executive was like, he has to have lips?
Yeah,
he has to have specifically animated lips.
Well, listen. Who knows? Maybe there was one specific one who was like, you know what I really want to see on Sonic the Hedgehog is some really detailed lips.
Some thin ones.
Some really thin, detailed lips, some small beady eyes, and individually sculpted teeth. And could you just please also have this 3D printed for me, and I will be in my office.
God.
So I went and tracked it down. The thing Blackwell was talking about generating so many fetishes was the series called Sonic the Hedgehog.
Oh.
That's just the name. That's just the
name of the television show. Not to be confused with Sonic the Hedgehog or Sonic the Hedgehog. Anyway,
amazing.
We're specifically talking about the weirdly dark Sonic the Hedgehog TV series.
When they give us no names, we are lost.
We are lost.
Oh boy.
Also,
we're lost in all of semantic space.
Also, Sally Acorn brings up the upsetting thing to me about like anthropomorphic characters, which is she wears a vest but no pants. She wears boots.
Yeah, it's more of a pussy outlook.
Yeah. Oh god.
This is very strange.
So we should.
But she's not a cat though.
Talk about more anime. Maybe like a show that we could watch, perhaps.
Yeah.
What's this podcast about again?
Oh yeah, we watch an anime. And not the Sonic the Hedgehog movie every single day for the next 24 years.
Yeah.
I've got an anime for us to watch.
You promised us.
I promised you an anime that is from my library that is not a hentai or involves like weird death fetishism. So the anime that I'd like us to watch, and this is sort of like continuing the theme of Rose of Versailles, that we were watching a historical anime.
Interesting.
And what I have for us to watch, which I'm very excited about because I've been seeing this in my fucking like anime section on the library for so long, and I've just been like, I just need to watch this. It's called Tales of Little Women.
Oh.
which is presumably
Oh,
based
wait,
on
really?
the actual like what's the word? Like the fucking like Civil War era like book. Little Women.
Little Women.
Yeah,
Right.
Little Women.
Louisa May Alcott's Little Women.
Yeah, the Little Women, but it's an anime now. And it was released in, I believe, 1987.
Wow.
So it's one of those old animes. And I'm really excited. And it's got 21 reviews on the library system, and it's got 4 to 5 stars. So I'm pretty excited.
All right. Sure, fuck it. Let's go. $620,000 men died in the American Civil War. And this is an anime podcast.
Damn.
Do we have any thoughts about this work of fiction?
I would like to start by, and if you guys have any objections to this, feel free to stop me. But I would like to start by reading verbatim the lyrics to the theme song.
Holy shit! I want to hear it.
Because I
Okay.
didn't comprehend those like fucking like strained like trying to hit the high notes girls singing.
What I wrote
Because-
was, "This is Kids Bop."
The
I-
I believe this is the Kentucky Nightmare Children's Choir.
It is. My first note that I wrote was, no fucking way Saban made a cutesy piano and calliope theme song talking about the Civil War. I would just like to read really quickly that the lyrics say, way back when, in 1863, now part of the American lore, a young family must leave their home because of the Civil War. Living their lives in a brand new town, doing the best they can, 4 little women on their own, looking to make their stand. Fortunes of war can change their way. We imagine their lives will be. The March family, all on their way. Meg, Joe, Beth, and Amy. What? Who?
Emma,
I
the
just
way-
need. Yes.
Emma, the way that you spoke those lyrics
Mhm.
reminded me of the way that I remember one time you spoke to me the lyrics of Sonic X, the Sonic X theme song, explaining that it's an isekai. And the fact that they
Yes.
have to go to a new town, is this technically an isekai?
That's isn't
Little Women is an isekai.
I don't know.
Maybe.
No.
You said that to me, and
No.
all I could think of was war. War
War
never
never
changes.
I
changes.
reject.
But-
I reject.
But
it.
it's like played on a toy piano, and it's like, war never changes.
Yeah. Okay, I've got a blurb first of all.
Hit the
Yeah,
Second of all.
read the blurb.
hit the blurb.
Read the blurb. Read the blurb for Louisa May Alcott's Little Women.
The blurb for the first episode, which actually the theme song gives away more than this blurb. The
I
March family, mother and 4 daughters, make the best of life as their father fights with the Union Army. After a year, the wounded father returns and their family rejoices, but their family picnic takes an ominous turn when he sights enemy scouts.
It's them Johnny Rebels.
Oh my god.
Josephine, fetch my rifle.
Oh my
God.
So should we just hop around this fucking like anime and talk about all the weird shit that we experienced while watching it?
I'm gonna get right out in front of this unless we've made this clear. And stop me if you don't agree. I don't think this anime is very good.
No.
It's
It's
got
just-
a real Studio Ghibli ripoff quality to it.
It's just fucking unconscionable to me to have a cutesy little Miyazaki anime about Louisa May Alcott's Little Women.
Which I
God.
How
haven't
is
read,
this real?
but I'm familiar with a lot of Civil War fiction, and let me say, probably not the best subject matter for you.
Maybe.
For your cheery Miyazaki style.
I think first of all we should make it clear that we watched the dub of this anime.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
That's
Oh,
what my
yeah,
mind
that
right
was-
now.
Oh yeah, that was a good time.
I do not believe that the fucking Kentucky Nightmare Children's Choir does anything for the Japanese version. I believe that's original to the English dub, courtesy of one motherfucker named Haim Saban,
Oh no.
former head of Saban Entertainment, and famed creator sort of Power Rangers.
Sort of.
Offender of Gene Simmons. His exploits are numerous.
Yeah.
His
Oh my God.
bastardry is well known.
God, there's some
it
deep
knows
lore
no
here, huh?
bounds. Uh-huh.
Deep lore here. Oh my God.
Yes.
I
Blacko,
love the
you
way
wanna-
that like.
Blacko,
Sorry.
you want us to fill you in on Haim Saban later?
Yes, I would love to hear about
Okay.
this character.
Yeah, sure.
We'll do a little after the episode segment about Haim Saban.
A little debriefing.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, moving on then, I guess. What was I gonna say? I liked the way that the voice actors and actresses shouted their lines
Uh-huh.
extremely loudly.
I feel like these voice actors were not. It's not that they're bad voice actors. In fact, they didn't flub their lines. They enunciated correctly. I feel like there was no voice director.
Oh
They
yeah.
just
Whatsoever.
all sounded like the only voice direction that they received was a gun pointed at them. Just
Fuck yeah.
like someone on the other side of the glass, like, I swear to God, I will shatter this glass and I will end your life if you do not read these lines.
Read them loudly
Shout.
and
I said
clearly.
shout. And then
I
they
said
shoot one
shout
of the
them.
subwoofers to prove that they mean it.
I can't hear you from behind this glass. Shout. Oh my God. Oh my God. There's just so much stuff in here that was just like so wild. The one thing that like is screaming at me from my notes was when Joe, who is my favorite character of them all, because she
Joe's
was like
the best character.
Joe is my favorite. So let's talk about Joe first.
Yeah, she's
So
a little
there's
shit.
four-
I like her.
There's 4 daughters. I don't remember any of their names except Joe because
Meg,
Joe.
Beth, and
Beth.
Amy.
I have them here.
Meg,
Joe.
Meg, Joe,
Meg.
Beth, and Amy. It's in the theme song.
I didn't commit that to memory. Joe.
Well, I did.
Like in like the first time we see her, she like almost runs over her like youngest daughter, or not youngest daughter, youngest sibling, and
Whoa. Easy.
Yes, her child.
Multi-generational household here. As was
almost runs over her youngest sister, and then like fucking vaults over a fence in her dress, and
this,
then
like,
like
granny?
freaks out an old lady. Yeah.
So
Mhm.
scandalized.
Mhm.
This granny who looks exactly like the granny from Looney Tunes for some reason.
She reminds me She reminds me severely of fucking Arena Joestar. It's not good.
Ah,
That granny
Oh my
looks like
God.
something that like that granny is wearing something that like Bugs Bunny would wear if they were dressing up.
God.
God. But yeah, one thing that struck me was that like it was really cute, first
No,
of all.
it's really cute that it was
Like it was like overly cute. And I was like, oh, this is fun. Like they're all having a good time and like they're like being generally nice to each other. And then
Mhm.
by like halfway through, it like had been so saccharine for like 20 minutes. I got like super bored. I was like,
Yeah.
Jesus
Yeah,
Christ.
I was
know
actually wondering.
yeah. They were like all at the dinner table and they were like being so polite at each other. And also, I wrote this down because this was like in the middle, like this is the middle lull of them being at the dinner table waiting for their father to come home. And all they're talking about is like, when's father gonna come home? Who's at the doorbell? Oh, it's Mr. Sutton. And we'll talk about him later. And
We'll get
and
to
they're
you,
like-
motherfucker.
yeah, and they're talking. And I'm like, wait a minute, is this show not gonna pass the Bechdel test? And I don't think it did.
I think it.
Yeah, heaven forbid Louisa May Alcott's Little Women.
The anime
Yeah.
adaptation specifically.
I feel as though Little Women may be exempt from the Bechdel test, given that that most of these people's concerns either involve A, their beloved father, or B, possibly men who might shoot them.
Yeah.
So
I think
Plus, there's a lot more of this show to go. Like,
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
This-
the rest
it
of
is
the
the one
novel.
episode rule.
The
But
rest of the novel, Little Women by Louisa May Alcott. Can't stress this enough. This is it's just haunting. I don't understand.
can I ask a question?
Yes.
Which is, has anyone here read Little Women by Louisa May Alcott?
No, who's
I
ever
have
read
not.
any book ever? Jesus.
I assumed that it would be
I
something you guys
have,
had to read in school.
and I wanted to know.
You have.
No,
I read-
yes, because I was
Fuck
okay.
off!
Here.
Fuck off! I read Ray Bradbury and Franz Kafka. I don't have to listen to this.
Yeah, me
Okay.
too.
No. So I'm apparently the only one here who has read this book. My
Uh-huh.
Oh
story.
shit!
My story is I read this in 5th grade, and it was the fattest book I had ever seen in my life.
Hell
Thick.
yeah.
It took me the whole school year to read it because I was
Tell
a
me
5th grader.
Mhm.
Yes.
And
That's
I
fair.
remember
I'm not gonna judge you.
fucking nothing almost from this book. But
Was it all fluff?
no, like things happen in the book. I remember a few things from the book. Do you want Little Women spoilers?
Yes,
Yeah.
I would
Fine.
love some.
Anyone want Little Women
God forbid.
spoilers?
Can you
Jesus,
please
give
put
it
a
to me.
spoiler warning on this episode for Louisa May Alcott's 1868 novel Little Women?
Christ.
The only
Please.
thing that I can
Can you
remember.
please put a Can you please put a spoiler warning up for this 150-year-old book?
Yeah.
Just in case.
I'm going to perish, you guys.
The only thing, literally the only thing that I can remember happening is in this book is that Beth fucking dies of scarlet fever.
Holy
Hey.
shit. You
That's
think that
the only
happens
thing.
in this?
That's
Was
what I
Beth the
want to
second
know.
youngest?
I want to know. Yeah.
I'm
She
I'm
is.
browsing the episode list so fucking fast. Please.
You just
It
be
has
like,
to be in here where it's
It
like
has to
that.
be.
What are you expecting to read? A fucking like It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia style like title card of being like
Hey,
the top-
good news. Episode 42 is called God, Please Save Beth.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
I was hoping it would read like a DBZ title card. It's just like,
It-
will Beth
It
be
does. It has an
defeated?
it has an exclamation point. It says, God, please save Beth.
Spoiler.
Join
the
us-
next one funeral time or something.
Join us
Spoiler.
next time for Beth Defeated.
Beth fucking dies. Goodbye.
Oh,
Sorry,
God.
God does
Oh my
not save
God.
Beth. The
God
other thing I
doesn't
know,
save Beth.
God
Is that-
abandons the March family.
the other thing I know, yeah, the other thing I know about this is Joe is basically the author insert.
Oh,
That's why she
that's
said
why
she
was
wants to be a
cool.
writer.
That's why she
this
was really
book
cool as
is
well.
Semi-autobiographical, so
Okay.
yeah.
Wow, that's a quick turnaround. Beth catches scarlet fever in episode 40, and then episode 42 is God, please save Beth.
Wow.
Fuck.
Yep.
Why are we laughing at that?
It's terrible.
It's
But
just so
yep.
absurd that we just watched this like super cutesy like first episode, and then it's like, well, Beth's gonna die of scarlet fever.
And it's just they're like, Papa March then got trench foot.
Oh.
Had to have some of his toes amputated.
Oh my god.
yeah,
Did they
that
have
was,
trench warfare during the Civil War?
A little. Not as much
Okay.
as...
that was
Not as much as
another thing that I had on here. Like, he comes home with his arm bandaged up, and I'm like, he's lucky he still has that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
This is the
Uh-huh.
Civil War.
He's lucky they didn't
Took
take him
into
outside
surgery.
behind the shed and just.
Just fucking shoot
Ended
him.
him. God.
Uh-huh.
But,
One thing I liked was like, first of all, I was counting my blessings that this wasn't a Confederate story.
Oh god.
Because they were like talking about how they had to go fight the evil of slavery, which caused like all those kids to just immediately start cheering, which I loved.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All the children were like, yeah, he's gonna fight slavery. Yay!
you fight all those bad Southern people, who all of whom totally own slaves.
But yeah, and then like Frederick was later talking about how like he has to go back to the war because fighting with like one arm is better than fighting with no arm. And I'm like, I'm glad that Frederick is Antifa. I wrote that one down. That little singer. So
That's good.
Oh man. Can we have a follow-up anime detailing the horrors of Reconstruction?
Yeah.
real
Oh
good.
my god.
That
A Martin Luther
that one's
King
called
anime?
Little Men.
That one's called Little Men.
I will have you know that there is actually a sequel to Little Women, and it is called Little Men.
It is called
Oh my
Little Men.
God.
It
It is
came out in
indeed called Little
1971.
Men. Yeah.
Spoilers. Spoilers for
Oh my
Louisa
God.
May Alcott's Little Women series.
God, I don't think the title of the next book in the series can count as spoilers. And if it does,
I
then you're
just-
a shitty author.
I just really think that the whole series jumped the shark when they revealed that Joe was also a Quincy. Like, I didn't really get that.
Oh my god.
So I want
Well,
to bring
speaking
it.
of,
I want to bring it
Cheers.
back around here
All
to
right.
something a little more serious. I will say that there is one good thing about this show, and it was somebody's motioning at me, and it's very distracting. And I wish they wouldn't do that.
It was
But
like-
anyway,
they're trying to get you to
What?
stop.
they're trying to get me to stop. But
They're just playing a little drum roll for you.
anyway, I'll say that the one good aspect of this show was whenever she ran into the kitchen to speak with the servant, and I saw the servant, the servant lady's back was turned to us, and I saw the tone of her skin, and I just went, "Oh!" and I tensed up really bad.
Yeah.
Same.
And then she
Same,
turned
same,
around, and I
same.
was just like, turned around and spoke, and I was just like, "Oh, thank God."
She's a normal
Oh,
human being.
she's just like a
She's like,
regular looking person, and they didn't do something horrifically racist.
Yeah.
And they didn't hire the worst voice actor imaginable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
God.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Um,
was also extremely terrified at
Yeah,
that
you just-
part.
Yeah, all your muscles just tense up, and you're just like, "Oh no, oh boy."
Here he comes.
Oh, thank God.
Thank
I
God it
think
wasn't
that
a
it
fucking
is-
like 1920s like Disney show.
Yeah.
I think that it is astounding that and also relatable that there are no voice actors in the credits. No single person who worked on this show was like, "Yeah, put me in. Let them know."
I didn't even
Oh my
watch the
God.
credits. Was there actually no voice acting?
There were no English credits at all. Like all of the credits were just listing the people from Japan who worked on the show.
With the little
In
teeny
English, of
versions
course.
of the characters dancing
But
around.
they never mentioned who did the English ADR. They didn't mention who did the casting. They didn't mention any single one of the American voice actors' names. It was so funny.
They
was
don't
amazing.
deserve to be known.
That's a problem because I swear I remember, like, I recognized who voiced Mr. Sutton. I
And
heard him.
you know what
in
else is
something
funny about
What?
the credits? Is at the end it said copyright 2017.
What the
What?
fuck?
Hello?
It said 2017, you guys.
Wait, was it
There's
also?
no
wait, hold
way.
on. Wait a minute. Hold
It
on.
said
Hold
that.
Wait a minute. What's
Don't-
going on
Wait a
here?
minute.
This can't be.
Okay. They can't have just made the dub. They
I
can't.
don't know.
Hey,
What?
hey,
Wait,
gang.
hold on.
Hey, gang. Hey, gang. From the Wikipedia article, it was aired from 2009 to 2017.
How,
That's
How can
incredible.
this be?
how
can this happen?
What the fuck?
Oh, okay. Never mind. It was dubbed into English and then broadcast by HBO in 1988. And then
Okay.
it was later aired in full on Smile of a Child, which is not
That's not
not a broadcasting network I'm familiar with. Until 2017.
Huh. Well, I mean, like, if it works, it works. I mean, the kids need to learn their history,
It
so like,
doesn't
how else are you
work.
gonna do it?
How can this fucking be?
Everything about this is baffling. Literally.
How can this
everything.
be?
I would much rather show any potential children of mine the Rose of Versailles and just have them grow up to be super gay than have them watch this.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I'm still okay. It's starting to really hit me that it was HBO to do the fucking.
It was HBO, folks.
At the home box office.
It was oh, is that shit? That's what it was. I was gonna joke that
Oh
it
my
was
God.
short for Howard Billups Lovecraft, but
we got Breaking Bad, Mad Men, Little Women.
Everything.
Emma, are you
about
sure you don't
this-
want to take that joke back?
no, it already.
Because that one was
We do
super
this-
dumb.
This is the one take rule, okay?
Fuck,
We don't
guys,
get a
I'm
second
dying
Don't-
here.
Don't edit that out. You let the audience
Oh my
know that I'm
God.
running on fumes.
All of her
Um,
jokes are out. Do you not remember that?
I'm out of. I'm
You
like
ran out of
scraping
bits.
them up off like the bottom of the cabinets and stuff. And I'm like, here,
You're
is this one funny?
You're squeezing them out of the wet wall.
Is this anything?
Yeah.
Oh, not the one. We can. Do
We
we need
can't
to
talk
add
about
to
my
the
wet wall.
We
we
talked
need
about
to
your wet
add-
wall in a different episode.
We need to add to the wet wall lore. Come on.
Yeah,
The wet
that's where
wall
Emma
has
gets your
gotten-
bits.
My wet wall is flaking now. By the way.
Oh,
Okay,
great.
so it's got dandruff, huh?
The portal
Don't
is almost
like-
complete.
Yeah.
Don't
It's really
like
bad.
This. I hate this.
But it's okay because soon God will be born through it. So
Oh, no.
I hate this.
Okay, so
oh my god.
back to- back to
yeah.
the show at hand.
Can
Back
we
to the
talk
show.
about? Okay, can we? I think we need to get the elephant in a room like immediately. I think I think we need to talk about Mr. Sutton.
We
Tim
do.
Sutton.
I have
It's
some
Tim
things
Sutton.
to say. No, hush.
it's Tim
Okay.
Sutton.
That's
So-
not. Who's that for, Joey? That's for no one.
That's for I.
It's for me.
It's for Joey. It's just for them. Just let them have this, please.
Oh
Well,
my god.
Anyway,
Okay,
Mr. Sutton.
I want to say what I wrote down in pertaining to Mr. Sutton. Specifically,
I hope you have the same thoughts I did.
okay, specifically, he comes to their house, rings the doorbell, and they think it's their father at first. They say, "Oh, it's their father," and then the other one's like, "Oh, Mr. Sutton's actually coming over," and they're like extremely posh voice that they have. And then I wrote down these three things in order as they like bring up the possibilities of why Mr. Sutton's here. Mr. Sutton is here to tell us father died. Mr. Sutton is here to tell us he will die when he comes to fight in the war. And then once we actually find out like the auxiliary reason why he's here, Mr. Sutton, age unknown, is here to fuck your 16-year-old sister.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I wrote down he looks 30 in my notes. So.
My,
I-
my
I think I wrote
concern. Sorry.
How old? I think I wrote, "How old is he?" Question mark.
Yeah. Mr. Sutton, age unknown, is here.
My
to talk to
concern
your
was that Mr.
16-year-old
Sutton. My concern was that Mr. Sutton was about to walk in the door and die immediately from war wounds.
It's just like, I just joined today. It's my
The-
birthday.
It's already over.
Oh my god. And then it's like a full like burning, like what's it called, raising and like pillaging like scene like in the second half of this saccharine anime.
Real shift in tone. I'll say,
Also, sorry, I'll let you go.
I was waiting for a mood whiplash. Just like every single thing that happened, I kept intrusively thinking that the older sister, when she was like getting like her dress pinned, I just kept thinking like it's gonna close up like a fucking saw trap, and it's gonna. I don't know what I think Little Women is about.
yeah, that's what it is.
It's just a
Promise
weird
you all
fucking
the
like
Little Women make it.
It's
Except
it's a
for
weird
Beth.
Except for Beth, she dies of scarlet
Dies
fever.
of scarlet
Oh
fever.
my
Yeah.
god. Oh my god, I'm glad Joe doesn't die of scarlet fever. I think the only
Yeah.
character I care about is Joe.
Joe can't die
Um,
because she writes the book. So
And Joe's a-
Yeah.
even Joe's a little irritating, to be honest.
Yeah, true.
Joe's
um,
a teenager. That's her excuse.
Yeah. One thing I thought was very funny was when Mr. Sutton comes and was talking to the fucking mom, he says the phrase auxiliary bazaar, which
Oh, yeah.
I have no fucking earthly idea what that could potentially mean in any timeline, and I don't care to know. I just
Uh,
loved it.
I think they were talking about some sort of like church thing.
I do not want to know what that is. I love the image in my head of what that gives me. And I want to cherish that for the rest of my life.
Well, if we run it through if we run it through my knowledge, I usually cross the term auxiliary in like military terms, so I have to assume it is some form of like bake sale to benefit the army.
Oh yeah, that makes sense.
It
Yeah,
does
we're
make
gonna
sense.
sell rolls to raise money to buy some new boots for the boys.
Yeah, so they can fight the slavers.
So they can
Wow.
so they can fight
Wow.
so they can fight slave owners and also toothless poor people.
God.
Who have been convinced to fight despite it not being in their interest.
Mhm.
Mhm.
Did anyone notice how Joe used Christopher Columbus as a swear?
Yeah,
Yeah.
no,
I
it's
was
a
like,
good
that's a
swear.
good curse.
That's
God.
fair.
I mean, you normally say the names of demons when you get hurt, right? So
It's a good curse because it's a
Yeah.
Do
curse.
you?
Do you say the name of demons when you get hurt?
Do you? Is
when
this
I
the thing
stub my
you
you
toe, I
do?
scream Baphomet.
You just
you
yell about
get-
Satan. Ah,
Yeah.
Satan!
Do you trip and skin your knee and just let out a good old Andromalius and just
I scrape my knee and I say, "Oh God," because God is a demon.
Okay.
okay? Some
That's my
strong
galaxy
strong
brain.
stances that I think we're taking today in our
Yeah.
Little Women by Louisa May
Little
Alcott
Women.
episode of our anime podcast.
God.
Who are we even doing this for?
Is
Um,
anyone still listening to this episode?
Who is this?
Have you guys clicked off on the hentai and the recommended videos yet?
It's for me.
It's
Fuck.
for Joey.
It's for
Joey,
me.
this is Joey's therapy.
It's for me.
God, I have so much shit written down, guys, and we're like
I
barely
do
through it
too.
all.
We
I
can't. we
don't
can't.
know.
There was just so
I-
much weird shit in this fucking.
It's
If-
time to burn this to the ground.
If that's
Um,
the case, we cannot do all of it. Pick your favorites and let's go.
Let me
Yeah.
get through and like burn down some of this stuff. So
Pick Pick
Um,
3, and if you say more than 3, I will shoot you with my directing gun.
okay. Okay, let me get through this. Okay. Someone else talk while I'm doing this.
I thought my favorite line in the whole episode was when they're eating the pie, and the little girl's like, "I'm gonna eat until I explode."
Hi.
I don't know, it made me laugh. It was funny.
The scene like right before that when the father was cutting the pie and he kept just being like, "No, I can do it. Just hang on. I can do it." I was
You
just
just
really
completely
like
visualized the
expecting
pie.
again, I don't know what I think Little Women is about, but I thought that he was just gonna like pick the fucking knife up and just be like, "Ah!"
Cut another
like,
finger off. Or
like
something.
full on PTSD, like
Yeah.
Yeah, he's gonna have a.
Yeah, and just start
his pie.
start serving up his Little Women.
Just yelling
Oh
him,
God.
just yelling him out, Johnny Rebel.
Oh my God.
Having an episode.
I feel like I might have benefited from reading the book before seeing this.
I think so because you weren't constantly expecting it to turn into deeply detailed
Yeah.
gore every single scene.
No.
I'm not sure. Well, to be fair to the rest of us, I'm not like I didn't really experience that. So
I don't know. I don't know how my experience could not be universal.
I feel as though this might be an Emma problem.
I have.
Maybe.
I don't know what you mean.
Blackle, do you have the thing?
I was certain that like either it was gonna stay this like sweet the whole like fucking series, or it was gonna like immediately go super dark at some point. So I did feel Emma's like pain a little bit, but when I
Thank you.
said super dark, I was thinking like maybe a slow decline into darkness. But Emma's thinking like full on like the thing is gonna burst out of
Yeah,
Joe's
I'm-
face.
This
Yeah.
is going this is going like straight from like the Carpenters to a Cannibal Corpse album. It's
Yeah, I
God,
was.
yeah.
Yeah. I was really expecting just like straight from Leave It to Beaver to like The Shining.
Yeah.
Um,
I've got a few things like
all
just a
work and
very,
no
very
play
few
makes
things.
Louisa May Alcott a little woman.
Yeah,
I'm going to perish.
the little girl just comes around the corner, and their servant is just like, all right, it's time for the race war.
I mean, the
Oh,
little girl
God!
the little girl was wearing like the same outfit as the twins in The Shining. It was the blue like
yeah, pretty
dress.
much.
So yeah, we
Yeah.
actually were closer than we thought to like this going full on like blood coming out of elevator. But
See,
instead of
everything
like an
that I
elevator,
said
it
was valid,
like...
and I've never been wrong on this podcast.
No, that's true. Yeah, Emma, you're a bastion of perfection.
No,
Thank
yeah,
you,
you're
thank
right.
you.
I don't know why I doubted you. Black will say
I
something,
don't.
for
I
God's
truly
sake.
don't know either.
I would like to say, first of all, the fact that Joe yelled "Marmy" a few times really perplexed
That's
me.
her mom's
She was like,
name.
I know, but she was like, "Oh, Marmy," and I didn't know that was her mom's name, so it just sounded like some weird nonsense word that she was just making up, and it was like
Yeah.
almost
Oh, yeah.
fried my brain.
I love my Marmy and my
My
Barbie.
Marmy, oh Marmy, and it was like,
My Barbie.
also, why would you call your mom
Thank
by
you.
her name?
You know what? I've called my father by his first name. I've never called my mother by her first name.
Yeah.
I think
Actually,
it's
no, I
'cause
do call my mother by
Joe's-
her first name sometimes.
Then why
Joe's
did you
just-
pose the question?
That's because I say it like as a joke. Like I pretend like as if I was somebody else saying something to her.
Why do you task me in this way?
Anyway, the other thing I liked was how Mr. Sutton looked like Abe Lincoln.
He's a real fan. Like
He's a real fan.
he used to have a mustache, but he shaved it. He's got a rep for the home team.
God, I
Just
did
by the
like.
way, just so you guys can know exactly how metal this show can get. Even though I haven't read Little Women, I did look at the Wikipedia page. It does
Okay,
take.
so you're an expert now.
I'm an expert now. It does take place immediately outside of a little town called Gettysburg. So.
Oh,
Yeah.
Yeah.
interesting. I only know Gettysburg by the address. Does it have any other significance?
It's
The address was
like
given outside the horrific battlefield.
Wasn't it
Okay.
the biggest or worst battle?
Yeah, probably one of the worst battles.
Yeah.
I see. Okay. And it was at different times, right? It was the Gettysburg Address wasn't him like being
No,
like
it was
full
in the
on
middle of
like...
the battle. No, of course it was.
He's like announcing it like it's a fucking WWE match.
Like, to give you an idea how horrible it was, since you're a Canadian,
Yeah.
half of all the people who have ever died, all the Americans who have died in the United States Army, did so during the Civil War.
Every single one to have ever died in...
No, not every single one. Half of all of them.
Oh, okay. Half of all of them, including like all the world wars.
Yes,
Yep.
including all foreign wars.
Yep.
Oh my
Civil War
God.
was really bad, folks.
In that
It was
one,
bad.
I'm here to
in that
say it.
one battle. In that
Not
one
that
battle.
But a lot of.
Jesus Christ. They really went hard, didn't they?
So yeah, like fucking 620,000 people.
Yeah.
I know this might be a bold stance for me to proclaim, but I think the Civil War was a bad thing.
Civil War
Yeah, it
pretty
does
rough.
sound like it.
Would
Sounds
not-
pretty bad.
Would not do again.
I hope it doesn't happen again.
I think that doing a Civil War would be an atrociously bad idea. If I were America, I would simply not have a Civil War. I
Yeah,
don't know.
that makes sense. Anyway, the last thing I have to say that isn't my dragon dick moment is
God.
I really enjoyed how like when the littlest sister, who I also forgot the name of,
Amy.
Amy. Okay, Amy. Amy was like, Joe wants to be a guy, and then Joe was like, no, I just want to be myself, and I'm like, yes, and be rights.
Yes.
yeah.
This is the representation I desperately need.
There's apparently a
Little
sequel.
non-binary folks by Louisa May Alcott.
Yeah, that's the third one in the series. It goes little women, little men, little non-binary folks.
Little others.
Love it.
No.
But there's apparently a sequel series to this called Little Women 2 Joe's Boys, which is
Hell yes.
sounds hilarious to me because imagining this character as like a mother is kind of hilarious.
Little
Yes.
Women 2
Yeah.
Judgment Day. Let's get into it.
She's just like I can just imagine her just like, for whatever reason, the Civil War's going on for another 10 years, and she's just yeeting one of her toddlers at a Confederate soldier.
God.
Like, you'll never take me alive.
But speaking
Wow.
of this story, which takes place like in the early days of the American like existence, apparently this is something I learned recently and pertains to NBs, and I want to share it with you guys just because it just sounds so amazing to me, and I feel a deep connection to this person. Apparently, in 1776, there was a person named what was their name? Their name was the Public Universal Friend.
Oh my god.
That was literally the name they gave themselves.
Yes.
And they were like full on rejected pronouns, full on like
Yep.
rejected gender, and full on like just fucking like was an all around like baller person. And like, man, I just literally learned about this person like this weekend, and I feel like my whole world has been enriched by that.
This is gonna
knowledge.
be a
Person
weird.
is my favorite. My
This is
hero.
going to be a weird, like, post podcast wrap up in which Blackle tells us about this cool historical person, and we get to tell Blackle about fucking Haim Saban.
Uh-huh.
Anyway, are we ready to wrap this up? This has been a really meandering episode.
Oh yeah, but I mean,
Yeah.
like that was a really meandering like show. Maybe
Would
not
we-
meandering, but very like confusing and like overwhelming show.
Uh-huh.
It's like so
It's
weird
everywhere.
in its mediocrity. It's
Yeah.
because we need to
So-
stress this is not a good show, and I will not watch any
No.
more of it.
Also,
That's what
like
I
it's
was
the
about
kind
to
of thing you'd
ask.
expect to see at a library, and not fucking Juden Chan.
You know what? You're entirely right. This is
That's
the opposite of
true.
Juden Chan.
That's true.
God.
You're right.
Anyway,
Little Women is the opposite of piss.
but anyway, going on to my Dragon Dick moment, which is
Oh,
about
boy.
piss, was
You
when
can't have one. Not in this
You
show.
can't
Not
have
in this
Nice.
show.
Not in this
when
show.
I don't know, I just thought the soup that the lady who was pouring out for like the dinner, the soup
It's
Aw.
looked
like
like
fucking
piss.
clam chowder or some shit.
It
It
was
had
yellow.
chunks.
Is that
It was
It had
like
Hang on,
really
is that-
chunks in it.
is it not supposed to?
I thought
So
it was
do y'all
like,
have chunks?
Emma,
I thought it was like
You don't have
chicken nugget.
chunks?
I hate you. I hate you both.
I'm this is enough. I have had enough.
All right. Tune in
Be
next
gone.
week where we like basically end ourselves.
No, we can't.
Wait, what about the
I'm
email?
suffering.
I have
End
to-
my suffering.
Do the
It's
email while I try
delayed.
and figure out how to make the new robot leave.
Okay, if you have any hate mail to send us after this very bad episode, go ahead and send that to oneepisodecast@gmail.com. What was that, Joey?
It's one word, not the number. One episode cast at Gmail.
Yeah.
I checked it earlier, so we don't have to do that. Everybody have a good night. I'm leaving.